I am exhausted. I recently started a new project. It is an adult speculative fiction novel. I'm about 10,000 words in at the moment, which is usually a pretty common sticking point, especially for me. But I'm not surprised that I'm here. I'm definitely not one of those writers that can jump in like every single day and write around 100, 200, maybe even 1,000 words. I definitely need like uninterrupted time. I need nothing else going on, I need no distractions, and usually in a day I can hit like a pretty decent word count once I get going. I'm aiming today to hit about 5,000 words, which is high. I definitely don't recommend this if you're working on like a later draft. I am writing a first draft and it's super early. It's very much just going for it. Anything that I write is an improvement because it's better than a blank page and I can edit it later. It's a little after 9. I have absolutely no work on today. If you don't know already, I am Katie. I'm a freelance graphic designer. In my spare time, I like to write. I've managed to clear my schedule today, so I don't have any freelance work on. I have just the whole day for writing, which is honestly a dream. And the last time I did this, I wrote about 3,000 words, which was really good for me. So I'm hoping today I can hit into a bit of a stride and write quite a bit. We'll see. With my first writing sprint of the day. I only managed to write for just over an hour before I really felt I needed a break. It was really hard to get back into. I wrote about 900, I've got it written down, 977 words. For just over an hour is pretty solid. I'm hoping it will pick up the pace soon. It's always a bit stale, I think, at first. I think you forget that, or at least I forget, that I can write anything I want, especially with the first draft. So I was kind of going through the motions, carrying on with the things I'd set up in the last bit of writing I did. I think it's time to like throw some new things in there and to just shake it up a bit, so the next bit of writing should be quite exciting. So I've been writing for a few hours now. It is just after 12. I'm so hungry. I need to take a big break, go and have some lunch. The word count is looking really good. Today I started off with 10,704 words. Now I'm at 12,686, almost 2,000 words. I've still got loads of time. It's going well. I just hit a wall and I need to go and eat something. I've eaten a quick lunch and the sun is finally starting to come out, so I'm probably going to go for a walk. Not too long of a walk. If I go on a break from writing and I do anything with screens, or I can easily distract myself. So I'm going to go for a walk, and then when I come back, I'm going to get back to writing. I've set myself the challenge to try things differently. So I've written 2 other first drafts before. Neither of them felt right. So I sort of got to the end and decided, not that I didn't like them, but just that so much wasn't working. And I think what can happen with new writers is that your gap in your skills is so much wider than what you want to write. So I had ambitions for both the books that I've written before, and I just couldn't figure out how to edit them to get them to that stage where they were good enough to do something with. I love those books and I might revisit them one day. The one that I finished last year I really love and I would love to revisit, but I just don't feel capable of editing it to the standard that I want just yet. I've started this new book and I'm really excited about it, and I can already see that the writing is so much stronger than the first drafts I've written before. But I am trying to do things differently this time. Not so much that I did anything wrong last time, but just because it's good to shake things up and question your process. Maybe you think you are really intense plotter like I did, and now I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to go the other way and just do the pantsing kind of method where I figure out as I go. I do like it when people describe it as like discovery writing, and they say that they find the story reveals themselves to them as they go along. And I'm really finding that with this story, even though I haven't spent a lot of time planning, there's so much that I just know about the story. I know roughly what the ending will feel like. I might not know the specifics. I know the shape of the story. I know what needs to happen in the middle, which is crucial because the middle can be so difficult to write. I just don't have all the detail, and it's the exciting things that I get to make up on the page now. It's a speculative adult fiction novel. I'm waiting to do some more research, probably after I finish the first draft, to go in and add even more when I'm editing. Speculative is this like big umbrella, so I'm not sure where this book sits underneath it. I think at the moment it's probably a historical fiction novel with magical realism. I'm having loads of fun with this book, and I really do think having a different approach can make such a difference, and you can really see it in your writing. I think we can get so bedded in what type of writer we are. And as I said, I figured out that writing in short bursts every day doesn't work for me, but I could write a couple of times a week, maybe 3 times a week, and crack out like a decent chunk of writing if I get that uninterrupted writing time. It's all about finding what works for you, and I do think that those 2 books, even if I never did anything with them again, they were so worth the experience of figuring out how I write and figuring out what I like, what I don't like, how I construct a story. You know, I think getting to the end is really important so that you can write an ending and get used to it. I mean, I've definitely been that writer before where I've started a book and restarted it and restarted it and restarted it and just edited it to death. And then you don't learn how to write an ending. You might get really good at writing beautiful prose or writing dialogue or all these other things, but you need that skill. I am exhausted. It is 4:30. I've been writing on and off since 9, almost 9 to 5, almost an entire workday writing, which is exactly what I set out to do. And I could continue into the evening, but I just know that that makes me burn out. It affects me the next day. It knocks on for the week. And then I don't want to go back to writing. Like, I find it really difficult to come back to writing when I've had such a hard day, like super recently. So I'm not going to do that to myself. I didn't quite hit 5,000 words, but the whole draft now is at 15,000 words, which I'm really happy with. Started off today with 10,704 words and now on 15,235. So I've written 4,531 words, which I'm really happy with. I feel like kind of exhausted all of the ideas I had for the next section. I had about a week off from writing. So in that time, you naturally, subconsciously are thinking about what you're going to write next. You think of the details, you think of the dialogue, what the scene looks like and how to present it. I have used all that up. So I have a feeling I'm going to take a little bit of time away now and go back to my other commitments, work and things like that. Hopefully it will do the same thing. But I wish I could be one of those writers that writes every day. I would love to know if people have any tips or tricks. How do you come up with the little bits of ideas that you need to prompt you into the scene? I know some people show up without an idea of what happens next in their story, and I have tried that, but it doesn't work for me. I think my instinct is to go around in circles, circle the drain a little bit if I don't know what I'm doing. So I need a bit of a plan. I do surprise myself sometimes with going off on interesting tangents and things like that, but I need something to get the ball rolling. But again, I'm really trying to run away from my old habit of over planning. I will get obsessive in the detail and in a plan. And the thing is you spend all that creative energy planning, and then when I come to write, I find that I've run out of that creative energy and I'm no longer interested. I think it's like you've experienced the story already because you spent so much time planning it in the detail, and I'd rather have the detail be something that I can come up with on the page. I need something to do while I'm writing that's not just transcribing what's in my head or what was on my plan. I have tried things like a zero draft and it just doesn't work for me. I love planning. I'm quite an organized, meticulous person. I love time blocking on my calendar. I love making lists. I love making meticulous notes for things for work or for anything else. But for writing, it really sucks the joy out of it for me. So I'm trying to not do that so much. So far, what I'm doing at the moment seems to be going well. I'll sort of write a few bullet points of what I'm going to do next. I reread what I've just written. I do a bit of light editing, which I know is controversial because a lot of people don't like to edit their first draft. drafts and they just like to power through. It's not slowing me down so much. I think it is helping. But again, that's one of those things I can get sucked into. It's a bit of a perfectionism habit that I'm definitely trying to kick. I've made some really good progress today. I definitely kept things moving. I'm liking the routine I've got. I think I've still got to iron out a few kinks. It's going well. Thank you so much for watching. I've had a really good day. It's been nice to film it, put my progress somewhere, and I would love to hear how you're getting on if you're writing something or how you write, because as I said, I'm still figuring out my routine, still figuring out my process, and I'm having loads of fun doing it. But any ideas, any tips or tricks, I'm always open to hearing.